of a reputation.
Oh, yeah. And especially, like, as Villager as well. Villager, I find, does have a lot of difficulty, like, being relevant nowadays, because I find, like, a lot of the Villager players are either just not coming to tourneys, or they're just not too many people like to play Villager, I guess.
True. Well,
But
that was a good start by Notes right there,
Yeah.
actually. Forcing him off stage right there with the Affairs. And Ryoko is, in the past at least, he was very prone to SDs off stage. So any kind of off-stage pressure that Notes can apply would greatly benefit him
absolutely.
in this set.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of good pressure from Note so far. I think that Ryoko definitely needs to watch out for the forward air and back air for sure, and the side B as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's huge parts of Villager's play.
And he's using those fairs so well, like you said. He's advancing with them and catching Ryoko off guard.
Yeah. I think, for sure, one of the bigger things that Zero Suit Samus doesn't like dealing with is a character that can zone her out.
Yeah.
She has long legs, but it definitely can't help her out when there's a character with projectiles everywhere.
We haven't seen Ryoko be able to get himself some breathing space
Yeah.
in this match so far. Notes has done a very good job walling him out up to this point. So
Yeah.
both players opting for grabs right there.
Oh, nice.
There we go. Ryoko overextended, try to catch him, leap over him with the bear, but going off stage is always a risky proposition against Villager, you know?
Definitely. Villager always has an answer to every single thing you have. Unless you jump over him, there is an occasional time where it might not be able to work in Villager's favor. But I guess in that regard, he felt the need to go towards Villager, and it just didn't work out.
And again, Ryoko just getting caught throwing out hitboxes.
Yeah. I think being a bit more patient might help him here. But
To be fair, it is a bit hard, admittedly, for him to be patient because he is trailing quite a bit now.
that's true.
And I guess he's feeling the need to be over-aggressive with his approaches right now. And it's not helping him. I mean, yeah, what you're saying is right. He needs to really get in there and cause some damage, but he's got to be patient about it.
Yeah. Especially because, like, with Villager, a lot of the time you're going to want to just get little bits of percent at a time, and because of the fact that he's already lost a stock so quickly, he's going to have to rush in, but at the same time, you still got to be patient, so it's very difficult to have the kind of mind games to be able to do that, but, you know, he could pull it off. He's only at 80. Villager does have difficulty killing for certain situations. I mean, the bowling ball is godly, but as long as he doesn't get a tree or a bowling ball, he's, oh.
Well, all he needs is the fireworks right there.
Never mind. Okay.
Start the party.
Yeah, apparently.
1-0 for Notes, and Ryoko, it's time for him to choose the counter pick that he feels will benefit him the most in this matchup.
Absolutely.
And this definitely has some time to think this one over.
Yeah. That was quite a short match. I think, again, a lot of the pressure from Villager was definitely overwhelming, but let's see if that changes this time.
Yeah.
Going on to Miiverse.
And I really like how Notes played Game 1. I just want to say again that he made that look... He looked very good getting that game. Because he was using his character strength to his fullest, and that's always what you want to see.
Yeah. There's a very rare amount of Villagers that really can show off their potential to full extent. Ryoko almost getting that up air B.
That was a nice juke right there by Notes. Faking one way, going the other on that recovery. But at the same time, those balloons don't last forever, and he almost ended up running out of room right there.
Yeah.
That can happen, but... Oh, he reels him in with the grab.
Yeah. That grab is definitely one of the more interesting ones. Has a combo throw and a really, really good kill throw as well.
Now, maybe it's just me, but I'm not sure if Ryoko's DIing that properly, the down throw. He's getting comboed off of that quite a bit.
It seems like he's DIing in on it, which is definitely not helping him.
No.
But
probably matchup inexperience coming into play.
Possibly. Again, the Villagers are a dime a dozen nowadays, and we certainly don't see enough of them, and I wish we saw more. We're seeing a lot of side B play with Zero Suit Samus right now, which is definitely sensible because he's got just enough range to be able to manage.
You actually see that a lot from the Brawl ZSS mains, because that was one of their go-to moves in that game.
Right.
Doesn't really, I don't think it has the same properties as it did before.
Yeah, and especially because of the nerf recently, it definitely didn't help the relevance of the move either.
Yeah. Either way, still useful in certain situations. You can't really yes, characters have bad moves, but there's always a way to where you can benefit from using it.
Absolutely.
That was
Beautiful.
a very good read by Ryoko on the DI.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Looking like a true ZSS Punish Master right there.
Absolutely.
And Notes trying to get that bowling ball read, anticipating Ryoko is either going to roll in front of him or jump there, but no dice.
Yeah, we're seeing, oh wow, we're
Double
seeing a
pair.
lot of stunning.
Double paralyzer shot in the up air?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely peculiar, but it definitely got him the percent he needed. I mean, if he can get a 50% lead before he dies, that's like the biggest thing that could happen right now. All he really needs is that big advantage, and if he can just not die at all, that'd be fantastic. But again, you're at 132%. That back air can potentially kill if he gets you at the edge guard, so...
Any sort of lead you can build upon with a stock advantage is always good.
Oh, yeah.
All right, tries to plant the tree, but doesn't quite catch Ryoko with that. And now Notes actually hasn't been able to really press any sort of advantage against Ryoko on the second stock here.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a turnaround from game one. I think that Ryoko is starting to figure out all the different tricks that Notes are trying to pull out of his sleeve. And now we're starting to see a lot more pressure from Zero Suit. That's the proper pressure for her.
Buries him, up B. Wow.
Wow.
That was enough. Oh my goodness, from center stage?
Wow.
Oh.
The rage must have been, what, done it at the end of the day, because I think the DI was good. So really good work from Ryoko that game.
Yeah, and he was near max rage, sitting just a couple percentage points or so shy of 150. So
Yeah. It's absolutely insane.
good stuff to him.
Oh, yeah.
That's the kind of bonkers stuff that you. That's the kind of combo that is only possible once in a blue moon.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah. Going into game 3 here
yeah.
on Duck Hunt, one of my favorite stages.
And this is actually, I feel like this is a pretty good stage for Villager because it gives him a lot of stage to abuse those projectiles. And if need be, he can escape to the top tree very easily.
Yeah.
Like,
If he wants to be at the top tree, though, he does have to watch out for the up air from Zero Suit.
Oh, for
because
sure.
That will definitely catch him.
yeah, boost kick on the tree can actually be pretty menacing now that I think about it. But at the same time, if Notes can play like he did game 1, it would definitely be to his benefit using all the tools available on the stage.
For sure. Now, I wonder if the Ducks are going to be a big detriment to Villager as well because of the amount of forward airs he's going to be pulling out.
Right, they can interrupt them and eat the slingshots.
Yeah, so he's probably going to have to play a bit more progressively, but I guess it still works out in his favor, this matchup, only because maybe he's hoping the stun gun will get hit by the Ducks, and then maybe he has some combos with the dog rising up.
Right. But sometimes, like, you can time combos like that, but it's hard to anticipate when the Ducks are going to land and be in the right position for the dog to rise.
That's true.
And follow up.
That's very true.
Now, that being said, Ryoko using those up airs, keeping Notes propped up.
Yeah, it's definitely brought it back to an even game, thankfully.
Yeah.
Seeing some really incredible skills from both players this match. It's definitely been really interesting seeing that, like, the first match we had, like, a very big imbalance, and then the second match we also had a pretty big imbalance, and now we're back to square one, where everybody's just kind of throwing out moves that they know work versus each character, and nothing's really going wrong with either player.
And Ryoko trying to chase him off stage. Doesn't end up eating any sort of repercussions from that.
Yeah. Doesn't seem to be a lot of punishing going on between each player, even though they have some laggy moves coming out.
And funnily enough, I'm not sure if you just noticed Ryoko sitting on the tree for about 10 seconds. That was not what I expected, but I mean, he did have the percent lead, so it works.
He must have been waiting for the approach.
Yeah. All right, Notes moving back and forth, trying to catch a landing from Ryoko. Does so, connects with Nair, fair. Okay, Nair pops him back on stage.
That's unfortunate.
It allowed him to follow up with the Lloyd, and he catches the get up with the up air
Good up there.
on the tree branch.
Yeah.
So Note's now going to take a decent advantage into the last stock of the set.
Yeah. All Ryoko needs now is just one last finishing touch, and that should do it.
But it's always hard to take a stock.
That's true.
Or
There
not.
It is. There
Or
it
not.
is. Back air.
That back air is going to clinch it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Ain't it?
Nothing like a better back air than Falco's.
And he rolled right into that bowling ball there. A little bit concerning. You don't want to do that, no matter what percent you're at.
Yeah.
That hits hard. And as you see, Notes is just hopping up and down, throwing out fares, trying to force Ryoko to approach.
Yeah, I think he's trying to do the same pressure game that he did the first match, but I don't think it's going to work this time.
Oh, he's got to be careful. Does have a jump, though. Is able to recover on stage safely. But you, like I said, you always have to have some kind of inkling in the back of your mind.
Especially, yeah, with like vertical situations too, because 06 Samus is going to have multiple different jumps with her down B and her second jump in the air, so she's going to definitely be higher up than most other characters are in terms of recovery.
True, but when you're off stage against a villager, it's not the best position to be in because he can survive forever down there, and he has so many options that he can cover you with,
Right.
and has all the time in the world, considering the balloons. Wow.
Tempted to drop the tree there. It didn't work in his favor quite then.
Yeah, I think Notes kind of went for the tree a little bit too early there. I feel like he could have saved it and understood. Nah, it's going to be it.
Good work from
Wow.
Ryoko. Bringing it back from Game 2 and Game 3.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like if Notes just waited for Ryoko to have to force to use his up B or another recovery option to grab ledge there, he would have benefited much more because he would have been able to chop down the tree and intercept the recovery.